on Clay, his illness. Are you wondering if that's anything extended? Will he be able to go on the road trip?
We hope so. Yeah. He's just been feeling sick the last couple of days, and so won't play tonight, and it's just day to day.
How does that, if you can say, how does that juggle around the starting lineup tonight?
I'm choosing not to say.
Oh, wow.
You know. Stretch run, Tim. Stretch.
I know. We're getting into. We can just lie too. You can do that. You have, other than this tonight, I don't know how it'll affect, but you've made some moves with the second unit, getting Clay in there. Obviously won't be tonight, and maybe Wiggins out, and maybe getting Porter and Clay and Jordan kind of together. Is that working in your mind? Has that had the effect you wanted?
Yeah, the last two games we've kind of changed the rotation around. It wasn't exactly the same. I think in Portland we played Juan in the second unit. In Denver, against Denver, we played Belly. I think, but the pieces around those guys were similar. So Gary will start tonight, and I like the combination of Steph and Gary, and gives us a chance to get Gary an extra run during the game and put him on one of the better offensive players. And then it just feels, especially with the injuries that we have right now, it feels like a better balanced combination, both the starters and the second unit. So it's something we'll stick with.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
I saw Wiseman working out earlier. How do you integrate him back into the fold during a stretch run right now? It's in a season that's different from last, where you're going for a championship run, and it's a different type of basketball being played. How do you integrate a guy who hasn't played too many games into that environment?
Well, right now it's not even a thought. The only thought is what's going to happen today. And is he going to scrimmage? How's he feeling? What's he doing in the weight room? And is he progressing? And the good news is over the last few weeks, he's really progressed and ramped it up, and he'll continue to do that. And as we get to see more and more of him and he gets closer to being able to play, then we'll give that some thought. But right now it's not a thought.
Do you know if he's going on the road trip yet?
Yes, he is going on the trip, right, Raymond? I think we discussed it. Yeah, he is going on the trip, and he'll get his work in on practice days on the trip.
That would rule him out of any G League this week then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just day to day. We're just taking it a step at a time. So we'll see where it all goes.
At this point, are you pretty sure there will not be any buyout action by the Warriors, or are you still in your mind keeping it open?
That's always a question for Bob. Rather than for me. I can tell you that Bob has not called me at all the last few days on anything. So I don't think there's anything cooking. But I would always leave the door open. You never know how things pan out.
I realize this is jumping one day ahead, but this trip, 4 games, and then I think you have a back-to-back at the back end of it, which is unusual because of the rescheduled game. How much have you thought about how this trip's going to, how challenging it's going to be, and how that might affect your preparations, your rotation, whatever?
Yeah, we're in conversations now about what will happen at the back end of the trip. So we have a few thoughts that we're going to ultimately make a decision on. But that's a particularly tough stretch for us, and we're going to have to navigate it.
Obviously, the goal is to win all these games on this upcoming road trip. But is there anything specific, you're looking to see out of your team?
No, just continued consistency at both ends. We've done a good job taking care of the ball. Last 5 games, I think we're averaging 10 or 11 turnovers. I thought our defense was great the other night against Portland. It was not great before the break. So Can we continue to take care of the ball, but maintain a higher level of defensive energy and efficiency? Those are things I'm looking at.
I guess the thinking was Clay's return might change the way defenses are playing Steph, stop blitzing him, stop chasing him all over, but it does not appear to have happened quite like that. Not putting anything on Clay. In your mind, is it just something that you guys have to accept? And do you think Steph and everyone else has kind of not figured it out, but getting a little more used to this?
I just think Steph has settled into a more traditional point guard role over the last few weeks. 14 assists the other night in Portland, just being very patient, kind of accepting whatever is there. And as he's being double teamed, just get it out of the double team and either let the next guy make a play or find the guy who's open for a shot. And he's done a great job of that. But without Draymond and Andre, it puts Steph in a position where he's unquestionably the point guard, and he's not off the ball as much as he would be otherwise.
What have you thought about, I guess, Jordan, the weeks leading up to the break and then the game he played the other night against Portland?
I think his game in Portland was great. I think the biggest thing that we continue to harp on with JP is just getting into the fight defensively, getting into the fray, and continuing to make quick decisions offensively. And he was great against Portland. It was one of his better games in that regard. Boxing out, getting loose balls, and then on offense, moving the ball quickly. He had one sequence where he caught it and he kicked it back to Steph and immediately pinned in for Clay. That's the kind of 0.5, decision making we talk about a lot. And so he's had a fantastic year, but I thought over the last couple of weeks he had a little slippage, just like our whole team did. And so he cleaned some stuff up against Portland, and I loved his game.
Anything on Zoom, Eddie or Chuck? Anything? No? Good. Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.